How is everybody doing? Welcome to this week's Spaces with Shift, with XCryptoParadise / Pools. I see we got a number of awesome speakers here as well who I'm excited to get to know. If you guys have been tuning into these spaces, we've been doing on a pretty much a weekly basis for the past, month or so. We like to talk about the market, state of the markets, opinions as to whether people are bullish, whether they're bearish, opportunities that they're looking at, altcoins they're looking at, and of course, giving the projects plenty of space and opportunity to talk about their own project and what they're building, right? With a particular focus on investing and token economics, token utility, all that good stuff. So, happy to be here. My name is Crypto Amaru. I'm the co-founder of a company called XCryptoParadise. Check us out. Give us a follow. In fact, give everybody a follow who's a speaker here. And also reminder to retweet the spaces too. If you guys can do that, that would be super great. Alrighty, let's kick this thing off. I've been going back and forth with Michael for the past month. Bull versus bear. And this week, I have to admit, I am a little bit defeated this week as your resident perma bull. I'm feeling not that bullish at the moment. We got Clarity Act kind of hanging on by a thread. Iran war. I mean, is this the gift that just never stops giving? I guess so. And then we have the Fed talk tomorrow, Fed speak. And folks are thinking Kevin Warsh is going to come out a little hawkish, I guess. So markets are scared and risk off. And Bitcoin's back to, what, 62K? I don't even know at this point. Michael, I guess you were right. We had a couple of weeks of bullishness, and now we're back to bearishness.
Right
what's your take? What's going on, my friend?
I mean, we're getting closer to the point where it's the bottom. That's my opinion. Once again, my opinion, personal. I think there's going to be maybe another scratch down to 50 something. And then I hope from there we are all the way up to 200. I know people think I'm not realistic about saying 200 until the end of the year, but it's possible. So I'm starting to get bullish again. And I see the bear getting shorter and shorter. And I mean, if you look at the past couple of years, bulls are like, they last for days or weeks max. And then it's sideways and bear again. So
True.
You really have to catch that moment, really, and, blast with it and then know when to, pull back. So, I believe we're going to see some bulls soon. Even sooner, than the end of the year. I expect Q4 to be very good. I hope September will already start being good. But, that's my 8-ball.
Yeah, love
My
it.
My 8-ball can be wrong.
Yeah, no, but I think you make a series of good points. The big takeaway I have from what you said is that even if you're bearish in the short term, which I know a lot of people are, that end of the year, I think the expectation is that the market will look quite different. And if you believe in the full year cycle, for example, that would suggest that October should be, the bottom. So we'll see how it all plays out.
By the way,
what's that?
Believe in the 4-year cycle. Do you believe in the 4-year cycle?
Not really.
I'm reading so much about, the past will not, teach about it in the future, etc. And the cycles seem just changed, right? The essence of them. But I want to hear other people.
Yeah, I'm not a super big believer in it. I mean, but the thing is, it doesn't matter necessarily if the majority of the market believes in it, then it will kind of become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we'll see, man. But I see we got Dominion raising his or her hand. Dominion market. Why don't you jump in here, my friend? What's your take on the market these days?
I'm going to say I think we've bottomed. I think the lowest weekly candle close of 2026 is in. I follow macro quite closely. I think Warsh is going to be a hawk tomorrow, but he's not going to hike. And then if you think the Iran war's not really impacting the markets any longer massively, you've got inflation potentially peaked. Markets are super priced in hikes. if he doesn't hike tomorrow, he's not going to hike in October, he's not going to hike in September leading into the midterms, he's Trump's guy, then do markets start to sniff out no hike in 2026 and potentially a cut early 2027 if inflation keeps cooling, which it looks like it's going to. And he's talking about the AI productivity gains. I think Walsh is going to be a hawk tomorrow, but I think the markets are going to sniff out that he's hawkish on the surface, but deep down, he's not going to do anything that's going to hurt the markets. And I think the markets are going to start to really rally soon. And I think everybody waiting on a bottom in Q4, end of Q3, is going to miss out on this 63, 64k to maybe 72 to 80k range. And actually by October, we're probably 85 to 90k. And I think Q4 will be bullish, but I actually think when 99% of the crowd are saying that the bottom's coming in September, October, the markets will never bottom in September and October. I think the bottom's close, if not in. Maybe one last flash crash, maybe. But to me, I mean, we're holding the 200-week moving average 4 weeks in a row. I don't think that happens by accident. But that's my 2 cents. And I also think gold and Bitcoin and silver are all going to have end of the year rallies regardless. I think by Christmas, Bitcoin will be close to 100k, if not above it.
Love it. Okay, we got a long-term bull here. Yeah, I agree with almost everything you said. By the way, I gave you a follow. Everyone should giving each other follows here would be awesome. All right, so yeah, appreciate your take, and I see you're doing some stuff with silver, which is cool. So we'll get to that in a bit, but just gonna go around like the room here. I see we got Pools team as well. Welcome. Bullish, bearish. What's your take on also in the world of pre-sales as well?
Yeah, for sure we're bullish, especially on RWA, AI agents, and I would like to say also we're planning this year to do a sale for a neobank project. So yeah, stay tuned for more information about it. We cannot tell you exactly the month of the upcoming announcement, but it will be anyway. So yeah, stay tuned. Regarding the sale, we have planned today a huge announcement in collaboration with Shift. So stay tuned as well for this announcement.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you have Bitcoin, obviously doing its thing, and then the rest of the market, I mean, is still kind of, I think, progressing forward and feels a little bit, altcoins feel a little bit better, certainly than they did, 2-3 months ago. And we've seen activity with pools and, Robinhood trenches have done quite well. And I think Solana's even waking up a little bit too. So trenches over there. So it's kind of good to see that in the altcoin sector, things are feeling a little bit better. I don't know if we're totally out of the woods. We're definitely not like full on bull, mania phase, but altcoins, yeah, feeling a little bit better. So happy for that. All right, going around to Carlos here. That's I see. Yeah, you're next, kind of on my list. Oh, are you from Mexico, my friend? Carlos, can you hear us? I cannot hear Carlos. Maybe something up with your mic. Hopefully get that fixed. All right, want to go off to 0x Yanshu. What's going on, man? Welcome to the conversation. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Or something in between?
Hey, man, appreciate it for having me here. It's Yanshu, and thanks Shift team and Michael for hosting this. These are like super helpful, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'll say like I'm bullish at this moment, and especially like adding on top of like everything what Dominion also said, like it makes a lot of sense. And also like I totally agree with you guys. This cycle does feel a lot different than the previous ones. This is like my second cycle if for being like inside crypto, and like at least third or fourth, just like watching it from sidelines. But now a lot of exciting stuff happening, like with Clarity Act, Genius already on the way, and like it's already live, and you're seeing a lot of adoption on the RWA side, private credit side, and specifically at Strata. I recently joined Strata as head of growth. We're like a yield tranching protocol, but recently we've been working a lot with these RWA teams and private credit teams to like structure these ABFs or ABS and securities to get them on chain and distribute using the on chain rails. And quite excited with how teams are thinking in even the, I would say, the suits, how they're thinking and how they're approaching this is, I feel like this was bound to happen at some point, and we'll see all the downstream effect of that into good projects and the capital pouring into the markets. And yeah, I agree with what most of the speakers are saying here. By the end of this year, we can see a good rally. So, yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, man. End of the year. We keep. I feel like I've been saying that every year since 5 years ago. All right, end of this year is gonna be great. And we had some decent years, in 2024. We had a great end of the year. 25, okay, I guess, but then basically October, everything crashed. But in any event, let's stay focused on the future. Carlos, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're a little quiet on my side. Maybe just talk closer to the mic.
Yeah, of course. Do you hear me better now?
Yeah, better now. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, bro. I'm from Mexico.
Let's go.
Yeah, very nice World Cup, no?
Yeah, man, I love Mexico. We have a condo there in Tulum, Mexico, called the Paradise Pad, which if you are in our DAO, you get free trips and vacations there. So yeah, shout out to, I love Mexico, dude. What a great country. What part are you based out of?
Currently, I'm in Mérida, Yucatan, but I'm from Guanajuato, and I'm a lot in Mexico City also.
Oh, Mexico City is also beautiful. Yeah, man. Well, great to have you on the stream. Tell us about, what's your thoughts on the market? Are you bullish? Are you bearish?
Thank you. Well, I think it's gonna be bullish. Definitely, everybody is waiting for the Clarity Act, but some of the things that we or what we built with What to Trade, I really believe on the blockchain technology more than how the markets or how the crypto prices are moving or whatever other coin it's moving, because really blockchain technology can help to solve a lot of our daily problems and get better. It will solve a lot of the interactions, all the businesses, and that's what we developed with What to Trade. We saw on the blockchain technology the big opportunity of really creating something that allows people to exchange and trade electricity in a very simple and easy way and transparent. And regardless of what the price is, I really think that blockchain technology is what we need to really push, the Web3 technology, and that's something that will really help a lot of problems to get solved, a lot of needs, and to get better interaction in all the businesses on daily basis.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you make a great point. I agree. Sometimes we all get caught up just in the price. There's actually been, I think, tremendous technological progress that's happened even just in the past 2 or 3 years within the crypto blockchain space that maybe doesn't get talked about enough. But, just think about from a retail investor standpoint, I remember a few years ago, it was so hard to even just move money across different chains. And now, just through Uniswap, you're doing this stuff quick of a button. So it's just been tremendous, I think, progress technologically. And that's just one simple example. So I'm with you there. All right, I see Dominion, you're raising your hand. Did you want to jump in? Or maybe just raising his hand on accident.
No, sorry, I had it raised from earlier. Sorry, apologies.
All good, man. All right, so let's go around the room again. Dominion, now that you're unmuted, I'll just go over to you. What do you in Web3?
So we're building tokenized silver. So we're launching tokenized silver on Solana, backed by physical silver. So we're launching in the next couple of weeks. So it's super exciting time for us. Lots going on, and then really from there we build out the product stack on top of it. So we've got some interesting things going on. Working with Shift, working with a few other people on the call as well. And I think we're going to have a lot of interesting things to share and show people once the token's live.
Very cool. So it's backed by silver. How does that work exactly? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so we have physical silver segregated, allocated in a secure vault in the US, in Texas. And then we issue the tokens backed by those silver bars in the vault, and then people can trade it, they can hold it, they can use it across DeFi, they can pledge it as collateral, and it's going to be the first tokenized silver backed by silver on Solana, which is cool.
Very cool, man. Yeah, loving the RWA focus of this spaces and just generally, I think the market. This is like such a big trend across the whole market. Maybe let's a good opportunity to move it over to Michael here. How is Shift working with Dominion?
Well, we are not focused on commodities, but we are focused on leveraged stuff. So what we're trying to build is, without giving too many details, a leveraged version of silver.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Love
Yeah.
I think also I just want to give Michael a shout out because even though we don't necessarily have a product yet, or maybe may never, Michael's a big advocate of other RWA builders and people in the space. So even though technically we don't necessarily have any collab to necessarily announce, he's been a big help and a big advocate for us. So I think that's the way he's helping and working with Dominion as well.
And an investor. And I love you guys. And I'm rooting for you all the time.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, good to see the connections, cross-project connections here. I see we actually have a new speaker, Max from the QWERTY team. What's going on, Max? How you doing, buddy? Let us know your thoughts. Are you bullish on this market or are you bearish right now?
Yeah, guys. Hi. Nice to meet you all. Actually, missed this question a bit. So yeah, actually, I always bullish, to be honest, because it's better to stay bullish all time, because at least you'll be positive. Yeah. So crypto is really stressful area. Yeah. So it is better to stay positive. Yeah. So I'm bullish, of course, but I think we need new narratives. Yes. So for example, yeah, we had something like Arbitrum, which launched the layer 2 mania, then Pump Fun that launched, let's say, meme coin mania. Yeah. So maybe now RWA will actually launch the next real world assets mania. Yeah. I hope so. So yeah, I'm staying bullish all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a builder, like you kind of have to stay bullish for the most part. If you become too bearish or builder in crypto, you'll probably just give up because bear markets will just kill you. Of course,
yes.
So good.
Yes, that's the main reason.
Good to hear you're bullish, man. All right, I do want to turn it over, to Carlos. What are you building out there, in Mexico?
Yes, sure. So we built the first and only decentralized electricity trading platform that allows people to create orders in a P2P way. We develop all the smart contracts. We have right now in place the exchange. Basically, we are making the fusion between the electricity markets and the crypto markets, where the electricity markets are in need of more liquidity, a lot of market participants of more liquidity, of course. Through this platform, also, we allow the opportunity of people to get their shortage of electricity in their houses or to sell their surplus of electricity. Also for small market participants or big market participants to start moving their daily needs or if they are short on energy or large on energy, they can go to what to trade and start trading in a very simple way. Basically, this is the way it's being centralized. It's through different companies, banks, clearinghouses, high liquidities, high entry barriers. It's just made for a handful of traders. And with what to trade, we are truly decentralizing and democratizing the access that anyone can now creating less than 5 minutes for at least 1 kilowatt a trade of energy in 9 different markets. We are about to open in 3 new markets. And yeah, it has been quite joyful getting this fusion between energy and blockchain. I truly believe on blockchain technology that can solve a lot of problems that currently we are having as humanity, and we can make business through it. Basically that's what to trade. Recently, we just launched our pre-sale last week, actually, our pre-sale.whattotrade.com, because we are launching the Watoin. The Watoin is the native token, a utility token that is pegged to a kilowatt of electricity, and that allows people to have governance right over the platform and to decide whether they want to trade or how they want trading to flow in the exchange. And also it helps you to have, it gives you the reduced fee on the trading that currently we have the super reduced fee for everybody, so everybody can jump to start trading on exchange.whattotrade.com. And yeah, basically that's where we are right now. Very eager to start positioning this among users, start positioning our token. It's something that it's innovative, that is the first one in the world that allows and democratizes access to everyone, and very eager to share this with you guys.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I think it is like RWA. That's like RWA in effect. I mean, that's as RWA as it gets. Trading electricity on the blockchain. I mean, that's kind of one of the narratives. I remember when I first got into crypto back in 2017. Like that was the kind of stuff we talked about being possible with blockchain technology. So very cool you're building that out. Yanshu, wanted to turn over to you. What are you guys doing over at Strata Markets?
Yeah, man, for sure. So at Strata Markets, let me quickly give you like a brief background. So I've been like getting deeper into like the private credit and RWA side of things, and as you know, like there are like multitude of reasons why blockchain technology makes a lot of sense, and most of the speakers have already covered the benefits. So I'll just dive into like what we offer. So at Strata, it's basically a on-chain tranching protocol. So think of it, the idea is that every yield source that we have, or more or less we've had today, is basically like just one type of yield, but they are like mainly like, they could be like two type of investors. One could be like a sophisticated or like a treasury or like institutional who wants some sort of like, let's say, downside hedge, or who's like, who wants some sort of less risky, but willing to give up like some sort of yield in terms of like, if it's still a few bips, a few 300 bips over the SOFR yield. And then on the other side, you have like these more or less like, these DeFi native or the investors who sort of wants to like, go after the high yield and like, high risk asset. So we take a yield source and then we split it into like two tranches. One is senior, which is like low risk and low reward. And then there's junior, which takes the first loss, but gets like the premium trade in exchange from the senior side. So we started with Athena markets last year, and that grew up to be like the biggest market. And at peak, like we had over like 300 million TVL in just Athena itself. But then like, the 10-10 happened and a lot of the unwinding happened. And, but still like, I think it's upward of 80 million or something on Athena. And it's been like growing even rapidly now. And if you see that the entire idea is that we have like almost like, 10 to 15% of coverage on senior USD holders who get like, the yield from what Athena generates, and like they also get this downside protection from the junior itself. So that is like, the best way to access Athena yields in market today is through senior tranche. And the best part is that since it's like it's sort of like a distinct collateral which you can use across these many markets. That's what like, DeFi does best, provides composability. So for example, last week, Lido allocated through their USD vault into senior USD markets, and using like Twain and few other teams, they're looping it on Aave, and it's like, you can get, essentially you can have like, 10 to 15 times more loops on the senior collateral and get essentially like better LTVs. So for example, if you usually get 85% LTV on your collateral on Aave, using senior, you can get like, 90-95%. That makes a lot of difference because you have that underlying cushion, the first loss. And as you see, like, more and more markets are moving towards RWA side, and even Athena sort of expanding to that. We have also grown significantly from that and have like 6+ markets live today, working with Midas on mHyper, with Hyperism. Then we also work with Figure team. So Figure is one of the biggest RWA issuer. If you see, like, they work on HELOCs, the housing equity line of credit in US, and they have a product Hastra. So we have tranche Hastra Prime, and we have senior and junior tranches now. And interestingly, next week we're launching this new market with Nest team, so Plume and Nest team. We're working with this Black Opal team. like super sophisticated guys, the OGs in the space, have been working ABS side of things. And right now what they're doing is they have this Liquid Stone 2 fund, which is mostly the Brazilian credit card receivables. And let me tell you, like, this market is credit card receivable market in Brazil is like pretty big. Like last year they did like almost $500 billion in volume throughout the country. So they have this fund, and Nest and Plume team, they got it on chain, and now they're using Strata's infra to sort of tranche it. And Nest and the Plume team will retain the junior, so they'll provide this first loss, and the users will be able to access the senior tranche and get anywhere between like 7 to 10% yields with the first loss. And we are curating a vault on Morpho and like different money markets so that you can use it as a collateral across different chains. And that's like broadly high level what we've been working at, and moving more towards the RWA side of things, solving these actual problems like the liquidity or the duration risk. And super excited to happy to like share more. But I think
man, thank you for that detailed overview. It's great to have like, it seems like maybe it's just the shift spaces, but it seems like a lot of the market is RWA focused, which is great. I mean, I think that's kind of one of the big trends this cycle and beyond. I want to turn it over to Max, who we know the QWERTY project quite well, working with them at Pools. But tell us about QWERTY, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So, actually, QWERTY is an AI-powered execution and intelligence layer. Yeah. So right now, our primary focus at QWERTY is building this AI-powered intelligence and execution layer for DeFi. Yeah. So we already have live multi-chain aggregation, execution infrastructure. Also, we are building the intelligence layer on top of it. Right now, yes, it's advanced analytics engine, executable AI agent, like some actionable analytics alerts for tokens, for stocks also, so as well as advanced trading terminal. So particularly important direction for us right now is AI trading agents. Yeah, so we believe that growing share of this financial crypto activity will gradually move from, let's say, manual interfaces toward the agent-driven directions. Yes. So that's why we are working on our full training stack for AI agents, not just the basic like swap tools, but intelligence, safety analysis, on-chain context, liquidity data, routing, execution, and more. Yeah. So regarding today's topic, yes, RWA is not our let's say core product vertical today. Yes, but we see it's like a natural future use case for the same infrastructure. Yeah. So as more regulated assets move on chain, users and AI agents will need reliable discovery, risk analysis, liquidity aggregation, cross-chain access, and execution, of course. So that's actually where we believe QWERTY can eventually add this significant value.
Yeah, man. It sounds like you guys have made really good progress since we last spoke. The visions, I think, increased and improved for QWERTY, man. So I'm excited for you guys. Actually, I just realized something. I see Michael's raised his hand. I never gave you an opportunity to talk about Shift. What are you guys building over there?
Yeah, sure. I actually was going to comment on the fact that we do shows either once a week or once or 2 weeks, and it's context based. So this week I'm so excited that everybody here are doing things that have RWA related or directly. It's really, really cool. So I'm really happy for the diversification, and sometimes the focus. So absolutely. Now, what is Shift? Shift is an RWA issuer. We bring fully backed stocks, ETFs, bonds, leverage ETFs, financial tools. Now working on some structured products, some vaults, and other things. And we've passed the 40 million TVL a couple of months ago. We've been at it for 4 years. We're licensed in multiple jurisdictions. We have a very strong team for both TradFi and Web3. And we're expanding. We're expanding to new products, expanding to new blockchains, new partnerships. A lot of the speakers here are either partners or potential partners or going to be partners. So I'm really happy to be in such good company. And Amaru, always great to have you hosting. And yeah, Shift has an airdrop, which is season 1 is finishing soon. So multipliers are back way high up. So I suggest taking a look. And season 2 is coming up. So stay prepared, gentlemen and ladies.
Sorry, I had to step away and use the bathroom for a sec. Yeah, man.
That was quick, bro. I can't believe you did it that fast. Whoa. You're not as old as me, are you?
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, for anyone who is bullish on Shift, one thing I will say is that the pre-sale is coming soon on Pool's Launchpad. I know you've done some other pre-sales in other communities and so on, but if you want to get involved, I believe it's the private round coming up, or maybe a strategic round. I can't quite remember. Coming up very soon on Pools. I think early as next week.
Private sale.
Are we?
It's a private sale.
Yeah.
Private sale round. Yeah, beautiful. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Andre's pumped too. Yeah. I mean, look, we've been bullish on Shift since, gosh, going on 2 years. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Michael in real life when he was visiting a conference in New York, near where I live. So had the chance to meet the team. And one thing I'll say, which I think I said on the last space, is I think 90% of the projects that I was talking to 2 years ago are dead and gone. Shift has just made improvements. I mean, forget dead and gone. I mean, just, raise funds, ship the product, onboarded users, onboarding TVL. I mean, really crushing it across the board. And like I said, very impressive given the fact that, 90% of projects from that time are dead. So keep up the good work. If you guys are bullish on Shift and want to get involved in the early rounds where the biggest upside usually is, you can do that through Pools, which I believe will be coming out next week. So pumped for that. All right, I want to turn it over to I see we haven't talked Dominion in a bit. Are you guys doing a token? And what's up with your native token? Was there any utilities for it?
So you mean like a governance or like a platform token?
Yeah, like utility token, governance token, something along those lines for your, associated with your product.
Not at the moment. We've discussed it, but there's no confirmed plans. Will we raise via token long term? Potentially, but it's not really our focus right now. Our focus is really launching the commodity-backed token, Sylv, which is going to be backed by Silver. I think that's the primary focus, really being product-driven rather than raising a secondary token. There's a lot of pros and cons to both, but I think the people we're speaking to in long term, we want to be regulated, institutional, compliant, and we're having those discussions now. And I think when you add a second token, it adds a layer of complexity that, to be frank, TradFi just can't be bothered learning about, and it's messy. You look at Ondo, Ondo's one of the best crypto businesses I think there is right now, functioning, cash flow, revenue, it's doing so much good stuff. But if you go on their Twitter every day, all they do is get slaughtered for the Ondo token. And the reason for that is because value doesn't flow back to the token holders. And I imagine somebody in their team has to answer DMs and Telegram messages all day long, getting slaughtered about the token. Meanwhile, the business is crushing it. So I just don't want to put ourselves in that position. I think we should be product-led and focus on who's going to buy and hold the Silver token rather than worry about some secondary token that could be a distraction, could bring in some short-term cash but cause long-term pain. And yeah, what MetaDAO's doing, what people like that are doing, look, I love it. Jurassic Finance, I think it's a great project, and how they've done it's great. But for us right now, our sole focus is proven product market fit with commodity-backed tokens.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point that having your own native token is tough. There's no sugarcoating that. There is going to be volatility. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs, plenty of downs. A lot of what you do, if you have a native token that's out in the market, doesn't even affect the price half the time. And it's just is the market overall bullish or is it bearish? That's kind of dictating the direction of your asset. So it does add complexity and can add stress and so on. But on the other hand,
but also from a compliance angle, regulators look at these tokens and they don't know where they sit. So we talk quite a lot with Canadian regulators, the Securities Commission in Canada, and they are super bullish on tokenized assets and RWAs. But then if you even mention the utility side and the if we did a Dominion token, for example, they just are like walls up. No, like that, it's not going to get passed. And then the other side of it is you then become locked in a little bit in terms of how you grow and expand in that regulated environment, I think. And I would hate to make a decision now that prevents us getting to that kind of 100 million, 200 million TVL or market cap long term.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you talk to the Canadian regulators, I mean, there's certain governments that are going to be more friendly to utility tokens, governments that are less. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to navigate. So totally get where you're coming from. I see, Michael, you raised your hand. Did you want to add anything to the conversation?
Yeah, I forgot what though, but I am going to say that I really appreciate that the Ondo token, that's what I was going to say. The Ondo token is completely disconnected from the actual product. Now, that is how you do not build a token. Okay? And when we will finally go for TGE, there must be, and there is, a deep connection between the RWAs and the actual utility token. Now, my heart goes out to Mark with Dominion trying to solve things in Canada where, we just went offshore because we understood that these are the kind of regulators that will work with you on the things that you want and won't. That's how we're going to do it. The Shift utility token is kind of invisible gas, so every time an RWA is minted or burned, there's a buyback, and we're going to burn some. And so we've, just integrated it within the actual system, which is, it's part of the product. And that's what you really need. Now, I love Ondo. I'm going to say bad things about Ondo, but the utility token is independent. It is speculative only, and it could have been done better in my eyes. Maybe they had their issues, and I don't know because I don't work for Ondo, so you can't know everything if you don't work there. There may have been some business issues, some regulatory issues. You can never know, but I do think that if you're doing one, do it properly.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you've launched utility token and has zero connection to the platform itself, then you've actually just launched a meme coin. Which you don't do that if you're Ondo. So
exactly.
I mean, yeah, you can do it right. You can do. I mean, gosh, we've been involved with utility tokens that have made all the sense in the world. Burning, buybacks. You have to hold it to access the platform, all that great stuff, and those tend to turn out pretty well if the valuations make sense for when it launches. And of course, we've been involved with.
Look at Ethereum. Look at Hyperliquid. Look at things that really are. The utility token is the core of the product, and that is when you get price action. That's when you get value. That's when you get usability.
Boom. Exactly. Well said. So, all right, I want to hear. I know QWERTY's doing a token. What's the latest? How's the fundraise going? And what's the utility for the token?
Yeah. Actually, it's going slowly, step by step, I would say. Yes, because as I already explained to our community that we are not pushing with it because our main goal is to stay with our tokenomics. We go from the start. Yes, it's really community aligned. Yes, so for us it's better. Yeah, so. Actually, our approach is to make the QWERTY token directly connected to real product usage, rather than launching a token first and trying to invent a utility afterward. Yeah, so the planned utility has several layers. For users, token can provide access to our upcoming premium AI agent features. As I mentioned, our analytics engine for higher usage limits, fee benefits, also staking rewards. For Web3 projects and our partners, staking QWERTY can unlock deeper access to our infrastructure features such as widgets, magic links, APIs. So yeah, and also the token, of course, will also support the governance, allowing long-term participants to influence on our important ecosystem decisions. We really listen what people tell to us, what they ask to add something, or so we think that it's also matter, and also naturally the token will also serve as a way to reward our community members who supported QWERTY from the early stages, who actively contribute to its growth. So not only through social awareness and distribution, but also through the product feedback, testing, integrations, and any kind of ecosystem participation. So the key principle is that our token should become an access, coordination, and value alignment layer across QWERTY. For users, for projects, for our partners, and eventually AI agents. So that's actually a bit info regarding our token. It's not launched yet.
I think
but it will.
What I like about what you guys do, and first of all, you're taking community feedback and you're rewarding kind of early participants. That's the best way to build a token, I think, right? It's kind of have the community involved with that in a way, and you can do it officially through like a DAO or even unofficially, just through feedback that you get from people like on Telegram or socials. But happy to hear you guys pushing forward.
Yeah, because all of us, builders, we build the products like not for our own usage, but to make it public goods, to make people use it, to make companies and businesses use it. So I think that the core that you need to launch it for the people. Otherwise, we'll just launch our meme coin, as was mentioned previously. If we would like to make it just speculative,
Like you said, you gotta either do it properly or just launch a meme coin. It's fine too, but don't try to do utility token and then do it poorly. That's when when things don't work out. But on the for Coparmex, Carlos, you guys are doing a native token. You mentioned you're doing a pre-sale, right?
Yes, right. From what to trade, we already built the token. So we start backwards because when we first got the idea, we wanted to develop it before launching the token so that people and community can see that we really thought on something that was useful and that can be built. I have the perception that when you launch a token and to create the project, it's what we have seen a lot, that sometimes people are not very trustful on that because of all the stories we have heard. And we decided to start backwards with what to trade. And that's we built first the exchange, we built the wallet, we built everything so that people can see that it actually works. You can go right now to exchange.whattotrade.com and in less than 5 minutes create a trade. And that's basically how we started. I heard you mentioning Coparmex, and Coparmex is something very interesting. It's a businessman association, the biggest one in Mexico, that I've been on for the past 14 years. And I'm actually, for the past 3 years, the national president of the Energy Commission. I've been in the energy business for the past 15 years with my brothers, and we develop several companies. And what to trade is something that, from the perspective of the wholesale electricity markets that we've seen and we have experienced, and we've been in those markets trading, that was a need that something that everybody needs to experience, and something that can really help the electricity markets in several ways. And one of those, for example, in Latin America, there's nothing like it. Maybe in the US and Europe, that are more sophisticated electricity markets, they have some kind of this, but super centralized with high fees and just made for a handful of people. And when we thought on what to trade, we were seeing this need on Latin American markets and other markets that really need an exchange for their hedges and for their energy hedges. And that's what we built. And with the blockchain, it's been super fun because we really want to gamify the experience of trading electricity and start and allowing people to become an electricity trader. Of course, we need to teach them how does that works. It's a different world, very different than the trading of crypto assets and tokens. And because it's you're working with a commodity on our daily lives that has high volatility due to climate changes, due to other commodity price changing like oil and gas. And that's something that we were very focused. We also developed a YouTube channel that we've been posting there, and we will keep posting, teaching people how to trade electricity. That's something that we're really into it because we understand it's a new world for everybody, because electricity traders around the world, there must be, maybe 80,000 electricity traders around the world, and probably that's too much. And we really want with What to Trade to have 10 millions of electricity traders around the world that are adding liquidity to different electricity markets. Hello, did you hear me, guys? Because I was having microphone issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect, guys.
Oh,
well, I
sorry,
see.
I was.
Yeah, you were muted. No worries.
Thank you for. Yeah, I was making a joke about you guys being like Enron, who they traded electricity, if I'm not mistaken. But let's bring that on chain. Absolutely. Watching trade looks super cool, man. If you guys are looking for fundraising or any other services, I do recommend getting connected to Pool's Launchpad. So hopefully you guys are following. You're able to follow each other, and maybe we can get some DMs going. But this looks pretty good, man. Tier 1 SEX is lined up. Over $1.5 million raised. You got 260K active wallets. You have almost 500K in liquidity. This is looking good, man. I'm very pleased we were able to get on the spaces together, because I think this is pretty sweet project. It's hard to find good projects these days. I'm not gonna lie. Most of crypto is just become meme coins, right? Like everyone's just launching a quick meme coin, pump and dump. Okay, move on to the next thing. Hard to find legit projects like the ones on this spaces.
Correct, and that's why we decided to create everything like kind of backwards, starting developing ourselves the product so that people can see that it's something doable, that it was really a project. We're into it and putting all the reputation, the capital, the work, and the time that we're putting on this. And yeah, it's been quite revealing that when you spoke to this in the energy markets, people really see the need and they really jump into What to Trade, and they're very eager and they start trading. And when they understand the electricity markets, they see the need of this. And really the challenge right now is to bring the crypto users to become electricity traders also, and to see the electricity as a new commodity that they can trade on daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, is the electricity market very volatile so that you can make a lot of money trading, or is it kind of like does the asset not really move that much? The prices.
Yeah, I mean, for example, remember the Texas freeze on 2021?
Sure, yeah, I remember that.
A lot of people make millions of dollars in a single weekend. I mean, if you have the right positions in place, you can make a lot of money. Of course, these high volatility events happen like 2 or 4 weeks on a year, but you must be on the poker table and aware of those weeks and having the ability. And now with AI, everybody can just ask and get answers on how to trade electricity and get data and train Claude with some skills so that it can help you forecasting the prices. And yeah, of course, I mean, there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of people willing to leave some dollars on the table in order to get hedged. Maybe it won't be high volatility, but they are willing to leave some dollars on the table in order to hedge their position, and that's where what to trade goes in and help everybody to move those positions around with our smart contracts.
Well, what I like about what you guys are doing is it's extremely unique. I've never seen trading, energy on the blockchain, or I've never really seen trading electricity on the blockchain like the way you guys have done it, or anyway for that matter. So very unique. Anytime I think you're allowing people to make money off trading, off of volatility, Web3 degens should naturally be attracted to that. So I hope you guys, continue to make inroads here in the Web3 space and do well. And if you're looking for a good launchpad, Pools is a great option. All right, we're coming up at the end of the spaces. Any final thoughts? So we have 2 or 3 big events coming up in the kind of the macro world. We have Clarity Act, which I know some of you guys aren't from the States, and then we have the Fed decision tomorrow. Are you guys looking at these events with any kind of curiosity, or you think they're going to be non-events? Michael, what's your take on the stuff that's Clarity Act in particular? Does that affect you guys in your business as well? I don't know. Are you talking? Because I can't hear you. I can't hear him. But anyone who's doing RWA, right? Like Clarity Act, do you think it passes, and do you think it helps you out? Maybe Dominion.
Yeah, I'll go. It looks like it's not going to pass in the next 2 weeks before they go on recess. I think they've announced today that they're focused on other things. I think the biggest impact the Clarity Act will have is that there's, in my opinion, a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines. That markets hate uncertainty. Markets hate when there's not clear rules of the road. I think regardless if Clarity is bullish or bearish for individual projects, what it does is it gives clear guidelines, and that's what capital loves, because then they know the rules, they know how to allocate, and I think that's where we start to see the big rotations into crypto, is once the Clarity Act is passed. So for us, short term, it's probably not going to have a massive impact, but long term, it definitely will. But what I think it does for everyone is it will start to allow asset allocators to actually allocate to crypto in size, because they'll understand that at least for the next 4, 5, 6 years, they've got clarity of rules and regulations and how the industry is going to be regulated in the thickest capital markets in the world. So even if it doesn't have a direct impact on your project, the rules, it's going to have a direct impact on the space as a whole. That's my take on it. In terms of the FOMC, 80% chance Kelsey have that they don't hike. I don't think hike's happening. I think Warsh is Trump's puppet, whether he likes to pretend or not. I think we get through tomorrow, and I think markets will be, I think that'll be it after tomorrow. If there's no shocks, I think I've just wrote a bit of a theory on Twitter about it, but I think we probably bottomed today for this week, and then I think the meeting's just a formality.
Yeah, hopefully there's no surprises with ultra hawkish talk tomorrow. I don't think we get the hike, so I'm with you there. And then let's put it in the rear view. I think usually there's a lot of volatility around the meeting, and then like 2 or 3 days later, everyone's forgotten about it. So probably same story this time. But yeah, I agree with your take on Clarity. I think it gets done. I don't know if it gets done. There's like a 10-day window here. We'll see if it gets done then. But yeah, trillions are sidelines. We need it to come into crypto because that's going to help pump our bags. Michael, what is your take? Does the Clarity Act affect what you're building at Shift? Does it make your business a little easier?
Absolutely. Look, everything that moves crypto forward, moves stablecoins forward, moves RWA adoption and crypto adoption forward. Now, I don't think it's limited to the US, because other countries are looking to the US for clarity, multiple meaning, but they really need, a guideline. Now, without saying anything judgmental about it, most of the countries in the world do not have their own legal system. They look at other larger companies which have more money to actually develop them, and then they copy paste them for better or worse. So I know a lot of countries are just waiting to hear what the US had decided to do, and they'll follow through in this way or another. Now, I really think that correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Genius or Clarity that's fighting over the yielding stable subject?
Well, it's moved into Clarity. That's been a part of it. Genius already got
I
passed.
think I really think that is a, it's gonna change worlds, because if the banks fall and let them do it, they are going to have to adapt to our world fast, and that is making me so happy, because it's so unfair that there will not be yielding stables that are publicly, permissionless, P2P. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like binding our hands behind our back. It's like saying, no. The profit is ours. You guys get the crumbs. I am so bullish about getting that through. I'm so angry if it won't. I mean, I have a lot of, a lot of baggage on that.
Yeah. I think Clarity, I don't care what kind of business you're running in crypto, it should help. It should likely help. If just for the simple reason of there's now more confidence, trust in the industry, there's more guardrails, regulations around bad actors and, going after frauds and so on. So I think it's like overall super positive. I've been very dismayed to see some of the Democrats coming out and just saying, "Oh, Trump supports Clarity. Trump is crypto pro crypto, so therefore I'm against." I think it's a very dumb take. Clarity actually would have helped prevent the launch of the Trump meme coin. So, I'm sure people feel some way about that, probably negatively. But in any event, I got to jump off here. I have a call with a project here in 1 minute. But this was a great Spaces. I think we'll be back next week if we can manage it. And stay tuned to the Pools socials and the Shift socials if you guys are looking for an allocation into the Shift presale that's happening very soon on Pools. So thank you guys for jumping in. We'll be back hopefully next week with another one. Some of you projects are able to join. That would be excellent. Appreciate Watu Trade jumping in here, Dominion. We had the Strata Markets team as well, and of course QWERTY. Glad to hear Max is pushing forward with QWERTY. All right, guys, going to jump off. Great Spaces today, and as we say at Crypto Paradise, we will see you guys on the beach.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. It was really great.